Hey, it's Kim Darwaza here, and I'm here with this week's market update. I'm doing it a day early. Normally I do it on Fridays, but I have a packed day. I've got inspections tomorrow, and I have a client who wants to move in the spring, and they have a tenant currently occupying their property for the past couple of years. So I'm going to go over there and give them a list of what they need to do before they list their property, which isn't going to happen until February. But the point is that now is the time to start, having me over to get you through that, so you have time to do these projects and you don't have to wait until the last minute, so you can be good to go. Usually I say right after the Super Bowl is always the best time. So I think the news right now regarding real estate in the world is doing more to terrify than clarify. So I'm gonna go through some things just so I can give you some more certainty in what people feel like is a time of uncertainty. And as far as the president is concerned, I've sold, it ranges per year how many houses I've sold over 16 years. So it's usually in the 20 to 40 range, depending upon the year. And I've done that during both Democrat and Republican administrations. So the market itself has not really affected real estate per se. So I just wanted to put that out there. In October in Fairfax County, we had 1,603 closed sales. The average sales price was $659,000 and some change, which is up 11% from October of 2019. The median days on market was 6, which is down 50%. So, that means it would have been the average days on market this time last year would have been 12. So housing always matters with the economy. So we're doing great, I think, as far as what's going on. The housing market is still the clear superstar of economic recovery. So waiting to sell may raise the cost of a trade up for you. So definitely, if you're holding off, we eventually will get to a rising interest rate environment. Right now, the Freddie Mac 30-year fixed is at 2.8 and the 15-year is at 2.33, and that's for loans that are in the conforming loan limit, which is $510,400. So just wanted to do that. So if you're waiting for certainty, you're gonna pay the price for that, and that will be that your interest rate will be higher and you will get less house for more money. So just keep that in mind. Right now, one of the main questions I get is, why do we have low inventory? And they did a survey, the National Association of Realtors did a survey, 34% feel that life is too uncertain right now. 31% blame it on financial uncertainty, and 25% blame it on COVID-19 health concerns. And so that's why people we aren't having really economic impacts here. Like, I was talking to an agent in Atlanta, and she's, Delta is their hub, and she's like, all these people, one of the spouses is a pilot and one is a flight attendant, and they've been both laid off, so they're not making any income right now. I'm not really seeing that. I'm also seeing so houses. This week I put an offer for a client on a house that had been on the market for 8 days, and it seems like those properties are still getting multiple offers. So what I think the reasoning behind this is, the ones that really people want, they'll make an offer on that and they won't get it because they'll be like, how many ever offers? And so then they go to this second choice property. So all these other people who didn't get the houses are also going to that second choice property. So then it's causing that one to get multiple offers. I was very lucky to get one through for a client this week. I think it was because the agent is really good friends with my title agent, and so they had a closing together, and she's like, oh, I got this offer from Kim, and the title agent's like, oh, Kim Darwaza, yeah, that will be the easiest transaction you will ever have because she's so good. And so, you know, it really does pay who you work with to get you properties that you want. So home prices and selling profits continue racking up new highs, and the housing market remains relatively immune from the economic havoc created by the coronavirus pandemic. So that's important. So I guess another question I've gotten to was, how will a Joe Biden administration affect real estate? So the main things right now that we know he's talked about is he wants to roll back the mortgage interest deductions. Like right now, if you had purchased, you had $1 million mortgage previously, they changed it to $750,000 on December 15th, 2017. So any after that, then you could deduct your mortgage interest on your tax return, and that would be for first and second home. So if you had a vacation home, then, and when I say a second home, I'm not talking about a investment property. It can be an investment property that you stick on Verbo or rent out, like a beach house, because you have to be there more than 10% of the days you rent it out. So in that case, if it's primarily a rental property, like a beach house in the Outer Banks, then you can't deduct that unless you're there more days than it's rented for the most part. So also right now you can deduct if you pay points when you get a mortgage. Sometimes people pay points to get a lower interest rate, or if you have late payment charge, or you have interest on a HELOC or mortgage insurance you pay right now, you can deduct those on your income taxes, and he's talking about rolling that back. So I don't love that personally, but that's one of his policies. Another thing that actually I think sounds good is the first time buyer tax credit of $15,000. So I think that's really going to help. That's going to really help first time home buyers, because right now it's real tough for them with you know, the houses escalating and that kind of stuff, and a lot of first time home buyers don't have tons of money to put down, so a lot of times they get outbid on stuff like that. But it used to be 75, so this didn't even exist like when I bought my house, which would have been nice because I was 25 and we had like zero money. But when I sold my brother-in-law his condo, it was like $7,500 to $8,000, and it was more of a loan that you kind of paid back over years through your taxes. This is supposedly like an outright $15,000 tax credit that you'll get. And then he's going to not allow, so right now we have 1031 exchanges, whereas if you own one investment property and you feel like you want to cash out on that one, but you want to defer the taxes that you have to pay, you can buy another similar type property, and you can roll that in there, and then you don't have to pay taxes on the income that you receive on that. So he's saying if you make $400,000 a year in annual income, that you're not going to be able to do the 1031 exchange and defer capital gains. So I actually have a lot of investor clients who do those kind of things, so that will affect them depending upon their annual income. And I don't know how many people make $400,000, or if you have a good enough accountant, you can probably get it under that, unless you know, are a movie star or something. But so he's also going to focus on affordable housing, reconstruction and refurbishment of affordable housing units. And he's going to cut down, make sure there's a cut down on redlining and discriminatory practices. I personally haven't seen that. I'm sure it goes on. Redlining is where banks would literally draw a red line around an area and say, we're not going to lend money. I don't think they can. I mean, they're serious. If you get caught doing that, they're serious, you know, criminal type of things. But he said he's going to do that. And also with my clientele, if I didn't send them a property, like if I said, oh gosh, I don't want them in this neighborhood, I'm not going to send them this property, they're going to find out anyway, because they're all on Zillow and they're like, why didn't you send me this property? And I'm like, well, you said you wanted a basement or you wanted this and it doesn't have that, you know. So I mean, most people today are so internet savvy that if you don't send them something, they're going to be questioning it within, minutes of it hitting the market. So, and then he's also going to help out with the whole rental eviction and foreclosure due to COVID-19. So, they're saying they're not going to evict. They weren't going to evict. There was a period of time where they're going to evict people if they lost their job due to COVID-19 and couldn't pay their rent. But that also affects, I have tons of investors who, if their tenants aren't paying their rent, they have a mortgage on all these properties. And so they could potentially go into foreclosure. So it's going to help out with that. So those are pretty much the key points that I'm seeing. Let me just go. I have a lot of notes I took. Consumer, I think people are in a better financial situation too, because consumer spending itself is down 4.4% in Virginia and 26.6% in DC and Northern Virginia. We probably fall somewhere in between there. But I think, people just aren't going out to restaurants and entertainment and baseball games. And so they're definitely, and they're saying we're likely to see another stimulus package regardless of who's in office. But I will say the median income right now in Fairfax County is $120,000 a year. So I'm not sure a lot of people are going to really reap the benefits of that. I think that is all. So all I'm going to say too is when you're picking your realtor, would you rather be on the plane with the pilot who's landing the plane on the aircraft carrier every single day, or do you want to be on the plane with a pilot who's flying to Paris once a month? So hopefully these videos that I do weekly are helpful and are helping you get the knowledge you need and the confidence you need. And hopefully once we get out of this period of uncertainty, people will start listing their houses, and then it will be better for everyone, because it's great for my sellers, but I prefer a more balanced market personally, because I think it gets scary with in the buyer beware state kind of thing, with lawsuits and stuff that people aren't disclosing and that kind of thing. I think we're gonna see some problems with that. But anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, feel free to call, text, email, direct message, comment. And I do a lot of other videos. I only go live once a week, but I do other videos that are on my YouTube channel, which is where I break down different parts of the buying and selling process for first-time home buyers or hot topics, that kind of thing. So if you could subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And hope everyone stays healthy, and I will be back next week.